All right. Welcome to Zanderberg. This is Lights Out Racing. I do, Zanderberg. I'm really horrible at pronouncing that. So this is Lights Out Racing. We're underway in qualifying right now. We just started at some of the tracks, and look at these conditions right now. It is wet. This is very typical of Dutch weather. Unfortunately, we won't see the real F1 cars going out on circuit this year due to our pandemic that we're all, hope everybody's safe at home as well. Taking care. Yes, wear masks. Don't debate about that. Protect everybody else. So this is going to be exciting because this is a new track. Obviously, people that are familiar with the 2020 game. Obviously, the game has now been out for a few weeks now, so a lot of the drivers are very familiar with how to kind of getting their laps in there, what sort of corners, how to push the limits of everything. But we have not seen anybody do this in league racing yet, so it's going to be very, very exciting. And I am joined by a new commentator, and I'm very excited to be able to work alongside this man because he has a lot of knowledge, and yes, his name is the Blue Cow. So welcome, Blue Cow.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here to my debut on a track that, just like you said, we won't see in real life this year, but really looking forward to seeing it next year.
Certainly am. So, obviously being a newcomer, are you familiar with some of the drivers that are on the grid right now in the Drivers' Champions? Perhaps you can even give us a little run through if you get a chance to, because I don't have that information up, unfortunately, but about the Drivers' Championship at the moment and the way it's standing.
All right, let me pull that up. But yes, I have been following these guys for a little bit. My racing, not just slow,
You do race buck, that's what you're not slow. Video here, so I was just a little annoyed at some of the music that's playing over here. Bear with me, please, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not really that familiar with some of these overlay graphics and so forth. However, we will try to do our absolute best.
In the meantime, I can tell you that Charles is the leader right now in this tier, and he has 87 points at the moment.
87 Charles, I'm going to go on board there with Charles. He is currently in the Ferrari there. He's out on track.
Oh, we just had a fastest lap set by Cramped Soup and got a Hellfire, just toppled that at 126, 120.6, I should say.
We have a lot of retirements early. I'm not quite sure what's going on. We're showing Squid Eyes, not Finn, Ironhammer, Ziploc. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, so I hope they don't.
Well, I know that Ziploc has actually a qualifying ban.
Oh, okay.
For penalty points accumulated. So he just came in, did his setup, probably, looking at the weather that we'll have for the race as well. Prepared all that, and he got out because he has nothing to do during qualifier.
Fair enough. Being a naughty boy.
Yeah.
He's been sent he's been sent to a timeout in the corner, so he has to set up the qualifying while he sits in the pit garage in the corner.
Yeah.
In
the meantime, I see Freeware went into the low 119s.
Yeah, 119.2, I believe.
Yep.
Look at his second sector there, 21.5. He's not going to improve on his time at the moment, but he's probably just coming back into to box again to put some fresh. I don't know. Are the inters you can probably do a few laps on these inters before they start wearing, like not as obviously in the softs. Generally, most people he does box. Most people just do one lap or whatever on the softs and then the box and put a fresh pair, not pair, but put a fresh put some fresh tires on and go again. But with the Inters, you could probably do 1 or 2 laps, couldn't you? I believe.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've always done, for me personally, and like I said, I'm not a very, very good driver at all, but always my second lap, even on softs, is better than my first lap. So
Yeah.
I think it's
Well, you get heat into
our
them, don't you?
preference,
Like,
but-
I mean, they start to heat up, and you obviously get a little comfortable with how the track feels, and then you know, after the first lap, you're like, okay, I know where my mistakes are made or whatever, and then bang, you
Correct.
should be quicker in the second lap.
Correct. Chen Zhu commented on our stream that inter tire wear is literally non-existent,
Okay.
and they barely degrade.
Thank
And
you, Chen
I know he has a lot of experience.
Chen
He's,
is fast, yes, exactly.
one of
Chen
the
J also
fastest
races in the
drivers.
other tiers of the LOR, so yeah. If we get advice from Chen J, then if you get any advice from Chen J, then you take that advice.
Exactly.
All right, let's see if anybody's improving right now. Like, obviously, I'm on board with LOR Duck Lovers. Now, he's got set the fastest first sector and really good pace for the second sector. Now, where is he on track?
He made it
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
He's
invalidated?
only on second.
He's in second
right now.
19.37. A little bit off the pace there. We're seeing a big gap there between the drivers, but they still have obviously some laps to do. 11 minutes of qualifying. We're separated by, it looks like at least 6 seconds from P1 to P9 right now. So these conditions do bring out a lot of things. Whether or not the track's going to start drying up. I don't see any rain now. This is interesting.
Yeah, it might be just the graphics, not displaying it necessarily.
Okay. The track temperature is 25 degrees. The air temperature is a nice cool. It's like a nice relaxing afternoon in the Netherlands for the first time. 18 degrees. Hang on. Somebody's gone on softs. Am I reading this telemetry correctly or not? I need to go on board. This is P3. No, he's boxing. Probably just did the little trick thing that they like to do where they change the tires, but they don't really do anything with it.
Yeah.
I only got, it's like 5 cars on track at the moment. So most people are boxing kind of just like what we call
Yep. We
just
have
waiting the
Easy
weather out.
on an out lap, so he will probably be. Well,
Sorry?
Zay is also. I was saying that Easy is on a out lap. Easy 9 time.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. And
we've
then
got
Schumacher was
Zay.
on an outlap, but Schumacher actually hit the wall there. I think he was trying to
Oh.
play sandcastles here in the Netherlands, but I don't think you should
I
be playing
believe Zay
sandcastles when you're a
started.
Ferrari driver. You perhaps should be on the track there, but yeah, he's made a mistake. That's cost him, but he's let the other driver through. He's going to have to invalidate his lap and try to build it up. No, sorry, I apologize. Who was there?
It looks like Zay is on a Zay Bernice is on a hot lap right now.
Zay, yeah, P6. That's Zay there. He is in the Alpha. Okay, we get confused now. This is the Alfa Romeo, right? Yep, there we go.
Yes, that is the Alfa Romeo. I know, so many Alphas these
Yeah.
days.
What happened to Beta or Charlie or Echo or Foxtrot?
Correct.
So I'm showing my telemetry data as a driver on softs, but that cannot be correct. That is
This
Charles.
yeah,
It is. Look at Charles in P3 in the Ferrari on the softs.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's absolutely.
That's a big
Absolutely
gamble,
right.
and that's actually not the only driver on the track now. I'm seeing another driver on softs as well. So it's obviously this is a crossover point right now. And these guys are going, you know what? It's dry. It's looking dry. I can see a little bit of a dry racing line forming. So let's see. Everybody is coming out now on softs. So I think Jeff, the race engineer for all the drivers, he's got this is an amazing man. I mean, the pressure he has to try to engineer all the drivers on the grid at once. 20 of them too, and 18 actually in this session.
True.
He has to go on softs now. I mean, you might as well send a broadcast message out to everybody. So that's the call
I
from
see.
Jeff.
Even Easy 9 time came in as well, even though that was likely his hot lap.
They're boxing now to change those tires. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
The first person here is, it looks like Charles. He is on a... Oh,
Still in the first sector.
Wait, car 44. I apologize for my telemetry information here. It's a little confusing.
No, yeah, he appears to still have just entered sector 2.
Yeah, outlap now. No, so Charles, it looks like Charles, the duck lovers actually, in P2. I think he's going to be the first one to cross the line on these tires.
No.
I'm really curious here. Actually, here we go. P10.
Charles
P10, Sherlock Homeboy. Or is he he's backed off? Why did he back off? He's something first sector. Okay, Charles has set the fastest second sector. He is in the last sector now, approaching that really long corner. It's banking, it's fast. It kind of reminds me of Indianapolis. He's going to be up crossing the line right now, and I think he should be able to set the fastest lap. And there it is.
Yep.
A 1:12.9. Look at the time difference. Wow.
1:12.7, yes.
Bringing it down now. Who's next to cross the line? Car 33. That will be Duck Lovers. No, he will be beginning his lap. Car 11 here. Let's go back there. That is... who's not flying here? Car 14. Sorry about apologizing about the car numbers here. That's Hennes. So, I'm on board with Hennes now. He's in the final sector here. He's on a blistering pace right now. He's lighting up Purple's first sector. Purple's second sector. He is coming around once again, this banking section. A little bit high on the curb there. It could still be a little bit slippery, but he's going to get maximum speed out of here, cranking everything he possibly can. Has the DRS, obviously, during qualifying. And there it is. Hennes,
wow.
110.8.
That's these guys are fast, man.
Let's have a look now. Car 5, P5. Hello, Duck Lovers. Duck Lovers like, you know what, Hennes? You can bring it, but I'm going to try to bring it even more. As he set the fast, he's lighting up the lighting boards right now. Fastest first sector. And he is now into the final sector. It's lighting up. Fastest second sector. This is going to be, is it duck time? This is duck weather, that's for sure. Well, probably dry, maybe not so much duck weather. Duck should cross the line. And he's like, okay, Hennes, I'll drop you to P2. And will that happen? I think it will.
For some reason, it did not happen on my end.
Oh, he must have invalidated the lap. All right, that's cost him a lot. He was lighting up the timing boards there. P7 got ahead. Hellfire. Where is he? Second sector, lighting. He's set the purples. He's got purples now.
Going into third sector right now. Yes, purple sector 2. Yep.
These guys like purples. Purple is the color that the favorite driver's color. Obviously, if you're setting purples, you know you're on a good pace here.
In the meantime, Zay Bernice ended up on P2, improving to P2.
Oh, good job from Zay. And now, as the lovers,
got a
and there it is.
Hellfire first.
Got a Hellfire. Wow, this is like 4 minutes. We're looking at almost 4.5 minutes of qualifying, and we're going to see these times tumbling now. 110s. I expect there's more and more purples to come. Let's have a look at who else has improved here. We still have some drivers that are still in the pits. I think obviously retired early. We still have Muns. I say Muns, but
Duck Lovers finally said that fast lap.
There it is. Duck Lovers has come back.
Professional pole.
Yes, once again, this is duck weather. It's looking good for him. There is a driver out there on the medium tires, I believe. That is in P12. That's Muns. He's on his outlap. Sorry, I apologize for the telemetry right now on the screen. It's not showing. Well, it's actually showing the tires that they had set their best on. But we need to show the tires that are currently fitted. Here we go.
You know what? Chenju on our stream is saying that maybe to change the tire detail from best to fitted.
I just did that. Thank you, Chenju. I just realized because my apologies, I'm looking at other telemetry data so I can see the actual tires that they're on, and I keep forgetting to change it in the game. Thank you, Chenju. Good call. Anybody else notices anything that we are doing wrong? Especially I'm doing wrong. Please let me know. We'll fix that immediately. We'll try our best. So, how's the stream quality too, by the way, out there? Because this is the first time I broadcasted with my new computer, and I'm hoping that everything is flowing and looking good in the stream. Let me know if it's not. As 3 minutes remaining qualifying, times aren't coming down now. Everybody's decided they're going to box. So perhaps because the track is drying up, they're deciding now, you know what, we'll just put a last minute push in. So let's have a look at car 11 and P9 on an outlap. That is Julian in the pink Mercedes. Yes, it is a pink Mercedes. Little lockup going to the first corner. Let's have a look at his sector times.
Freeware is about to start his hot lap. He just
Freeware.
did.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you want to stay with him,
Freeware is in P8.
I'm sure he's looking
Yeah,
to
yep.
improve here.
The German driver in the new black Mercedes.
Yeah, the new black
that,
Mercedes.
Everybody has been, I shall say, complaining about for a long time, to pushing Codemasters to say, "Oh, you changed the Williams, but why didn't you change the Mercedes?" I mean, well, guess what? Codemasters have responded to your requests, and they've finally done it. So keep everybody happy. Now everybody's going to get bored with it. It looks great, Bob.
Looks a little too shiny.
Looks so shiny. Yeah, I think it's a matte finish.
In the game, not
in the game. That's right. Yeah, because the game perhaps has those dynamics as Freeware is in the. So he lit up. He's got his purple. Purple's good. He knows. Jeff is telling him, Freeware, you have a purple fastest second sector. So he's excited.
Coming up.
What can he do
He's
now?
coming up. Let's see if he can dethrone Julian from his provisional pole. And he does.
And he does. There we go.
109.
Good job too for Julian. I forgot that Julian was up ahead of him too in the pink Mercedes. And yes, I will call it a pink Mercedes. You'll have to like it or not. It's a Racing Point, but it's a pink Mercedes.
See, it looks like Henners is on another hot lap, and
in P7. He's in the other pink Mercedes. Where is he?
Yeah.
He's just finishing up in his second sector. Let's have a look at the Henners. Mr.
as long
Bucket
as
Hat.
as long as he has the right gloves on, that's what matters.
There it is. Henners likes the purples. He's got the purple. He has set the fastest second sector. He set a personal best in his first sector. And this is looking good. If he can make this stick on the final sector and 51 seconds left of qualifying, what can the bucket hat Henners do about Freeware's time?
P4.
P4.
He improved to P4.
He did improve, but he lost a little bit of time. He did set his personal bests in the third sector. Who else here? There's going to be a lot of action here because we're getting into the last 30 seconds of the race. Everybody's kind of timed.
Julian had just did a second lap on those same tires, but did not improve past P2.
All right, well, so Freeware, Julian, Duck Lovers, Hannah's, got a Hellfire. Sherlock Homeboy, who else?
Cram Soup, let's see if he improves. Nope, he is still in P13.
Plum last. Among Cram Soup, we know we have pace. We've seen Cram Soup before in this league racing. He has the pace.
Seeing a few people on. I see Easy is in Sector 3, and he's improving his own time. We'll see how much he's able to improve overall.
Yeah, Easy. He's one of the moderators.
P5.
P5, is he up there?
Good job. Yeah.
We can't talk bad about Ezzy, obviously. He might kick us from the league.
Correct.
Ezzy, go Ezzy.
I just saw a few. It appeared to be a few drops of rain.
Oh, so the track might not be improving. This is going to hurt possibly these last
we'll
5 or 6 drivers. So
yes, I don't have information on how the weather is going to look for the race.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jeff doesn't give us that information. He keeps it to the teams.
Correct.
Disappointing.
Say is about to cross again, but I don't think.
Can the race
he is not improving?
No, I think it's gone now. It's gone, and Charles is in the pit. Sherlock
Homeboy is, I think, the only one that can still put on a lap.
P7. What can he do here? His teammate is on pole, so obviously here he has the power, but they all are equal cars.
It's a little slower than his previous lap in Sector 2.
I think it's getting slippery. His times are not improving. So. He's not setting purples.
No, Ziploc just informed us that the race will be dry, so that's nice.
Thank you. We don't get that information, Ziploc, so and then that's a ban from Sherlock. So I'd expect that. The track is getting slippery. Yep. I don't think anybody can improve. Freeware will have the pole, a 109.259. But still like his pace, but just 1/10 later there in P2. Duck Lovers, Julian have Racing Point domination there in P3, P4. The two teammates will line up, Julian and Henners. Ezzy, as we know, the main man of this Discord and this racing league is in P5. Got a Hellfire. that had the provisional pole for a little bit, dropped back to P6. Sherlock Homeboy in the other teammate of the Mercedes, probably disappointed a little bit. You can see his teammate up there. Obviously, these drivers want to be ahead of their teammates. Charles, our championship leader, must have struggled a little bit back in P8 in the Ferrari, but we have seen the Ferrari struggling recently anyway in the Formula 1. Leon in P9, Zay in P10, both of those Alfa Romeos. Munz there in the Williams. Good job for the Williams team, actually. P11, Schumacher. P12, and Cram Soup rounding up the 13 drivers that have qualified. Squid-Eyed, Finn, Ironhammer, Ziploc, and AJ, pending, obviously, those qualifying bans, etc., things like that. All right. Welcome to our very first Dutch Grand Prix. This is the Netherlands. This is the Formula 1 Dutch Grand Prix, round 1, Zandvoort. And this is new to these drivers. We have not seen this. This is new to 2020. Unfortunately, we will not be able to see this with the regular racing team. You can see it here, 4.2 kilometers, 14 turns. We have 2 DRS zones. Practically flat. If you've ever visited the Netherlands before, it is very, very flat. That's why they ride their bikes around everywhere. So we're looking quite good here. The track was it's like Silverstone. It first opened in 1948, passed the post-war motorsport enthusiasm, swept across Europe, originally made up of a permanent track and public roads that snake through the sand dunes. You do see the sand dunes, and obviously drivers will tell you about those sand dunes because there's plenty of them. And the Dutch Automotive Racing Club that initiated the plans for the circuit brought it in 1927, Le Mans winner Sammy Davis, to consult the layout of the original 4.2 track. So 1952 was its first race, but we are back. There's been modifications to the circuit, obviously, but I am super excited. And these drivers are now going to start their formation laps, I believe. We'll go back. And I think we've missed the formation laps when I was speaking about that. So I'm board here with my commentator, Blue Cow, and I apologize for that because I think we've actually missed the race start.
No worries.
The formation lap?
Yeah, they're on the formation lap right now.
Okay, great. Sorry, I was scared for a little bit there. It looked like they were actually in a racing lap because I saw cars zooming around the circuit as I was sitting there talking about the circuit. Once again, I apologize. I'm quite new to streaming. I usually sit in the pit lane and up in the race control, so I'm in a different box this time, joined by, once again, Blue Cow. Great to have you here. Are you excited? What do you expect? Some safety cars? What's going to happen in this race?
Yeah, very excited to be here for the first race, the first LOR race around Zandvoort. And that's actually, I was going to say that some of the results in qualifying were a little shocking to me. And I realized that it's a new track for these guys as well. They, some of these guys have been playing for many years, but this track had not been available until this year.
I am very excited as well. Yes, here we go. So they're lining up
new.
Finally. It's new. Yeah, exactly.
It's new. There's a few passing opportunities, but not too crazy.
All right, so they've lined up perfect in their grid boxes. Good job from all these drivers. We're going to go on board here. We're going to try to keep this so a little glitch here. We have freeware on the right and duck levers on the left, and the Red Bull freeware on the right in the Mercedes. Little bit of a delay off the start there, and who gets a great start? Looks like Freeware's got an awesome start off the line there. The Red Bull, look at the 2 Racing Points. They're ready to put pressure on there. Racing Point on the outside, taking his teammate side by side. Who's going to get the better out of there? And that's Julian Hennes. They're back there. Oh, look at how close there. They've almost got a little bit of a gap there. It looks clean behind the rest of them. Oh, there's a little tap there between the two Racing Points. That's not going to work well for them. Back behind them, too, we have Ezzy in P6. God of Hellfire in the McLaren there. God of Hellfire looks like he's battling right now, too, out of that corner. With the Ferrari driver that's behind him. That's Charles as well. Charles is the championship leader. He wants to put pressure on the outside there. Charles is going, sweeping through there. As they go around these corners here, there's a lot of action on track there. A little twitchy from the tyres. Looks like Charles is still trying to put pressure all over the back there. I've got a Hellfire in the McLaren driver. Meanwhile, up ahead there, it looks like Freeway got a great launch there. Duck Lovers kind of kept up with him.
Great start.
So, wow, what an exciting start so far.
Oh, there was some a bit of incident there, I believe, between Schumacher and Finn. I think one of them lost a
bit of damage there.
A little bit of wing there. Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing the telemetry is going all crazy right now, but I don't see any cars off on the side there. It looks like all these things are changing, showing God of Hellfire and Charles making damages. It looks like Charles is ghosting right now. We have seen connection issues from him before. He is behind God of Hellfire, the championship leader in P8. You can see God of Hellfire up there ahead of him, but as he's ghosting, generally, if people aren't familiar with the game at home, if they're ghosting, it tends to be a connection issue. So let's hope he can get that sorted. The telemetry information is a little crazy right now. It's not showing everybody.
We also have two drivers that already had to pit, Guida and Muniz.
Oh,
and,
so they must have...
I think Muniz had a problem off the start. He was very slow from the get-go.
Well, that's unfortunate, but not a bad first corners for these drivers, especially in this new circuit, new race. We're not familiar with it. They're not familiar with probably racing in these leagues with a full grid of almost a full grid, 18 drivers. So I think it was pretty clean, and we don't know. We don't know what to expect. We don't know what sort of safety cars we're going to get or virtual safety cars, but we're on lap 3 already. And trust me, in most of the racing leagues, when after lap 3, you generally bring out a safety car. So this is
that is
this
correct,
is something else. Let's have a look at these little battles that are on there. It looks like there's a little bit of a battle here between Ezzy, God of Hellfire, Charles, Sherlock, and Leon. They're kind of really bunched up together there, showing a little bit of glitchiness there. God of Hellfire. He's dropping back a little bit from Ezzy now, and he's falling into the clutches of Charles. Now, it looks like Charles is back, and I hope so. They're showing him as a non-ghosted car now. So, Charles has had connection issues before.
Yeah.
Look at this. Let's go on board with Sherlock in the other Mercedes driver. Oh, there's a tap.
Oh, there
I'm not quite sure what happened. They didn't have the room. That might have been a little bit of a gutsy maneuver. I'm not a racing driver myself, but he is stuck and he has to lose a lot of positions as he does the right thing, waits for the cars. He doesn't do a Vettel and try to just regain himself on track. He actually waits for the cars to go past and then resumes racing. That's cost him. He's back in a P16, probably saying some words right now that we can't broadcast in his living room at home.
Luckily for him, at least, I do not see any wing damage on him. So
that might be good. Yeah, maybe the sand trap, these sand that you see around the outside of the circuit.
Yeah, all these dunes. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's close to the ocean, shall we say? In Netherlands. But then again, everything's close to the oceans. I believe in Netherlands. I've lived there before for a little while.
Yeah, I believe Zandvoort is like 20 minutes away from the North Sea coastline. So.
And it's looking quite good right
breeze
now.
There.
Nice 20 degrees. Track temperature is 29. A lot of little battles on right now. Our leader is actually falling a little bit into the clutches. Freeware, Duck, Julian. That's our current positions right now. And Hennes is dropping back a little bit in P4. It's 2 seconds off the leaders. Ezzy's kind of on the back now of Hennes. We're on board with Leon, but Leon's kind of just hanging there with God of Hellfire. Looks like there's a little position change at the back there between Ziploc and Cram Soup. So, there's some different strategy. We didn't pick that up at the start. My apologies there. So Schumacher's on the hard tyres. Did Schumacher box? It looks like there's a position change too. It looks like Charles has actually got to get past Leon. Can he make it stick around the outside of that really tight banking turn there? I think that's 12. Turn 12 or turn 3? Actually, I think it's turn 3. I'm still learning the corners.
And Iron Hammer is right up Leon's gearbox.
Yeah, let's go on board with Iron Hammer and let's have a look from his perspective. And you can see the 2 cars ahead. You can see Leon there. He can see the championship leader.
As Leon got a 3-second penalty.
It looks like Charles is struggling right now in that Ferrari. I'm not quite sure. You'd expect him to be a little bit quicker. Maybe this is not a circuit that he likes so much. They will have the DRS as well, as we are on lap 5. There has been no safety cars, believe it or not. Charles is really struggling. Look at Leon all over the back of him, just waiting. He's trying to find the right point. Iron Hammer's just sitting here back watching on board, watching the race, thinking how can he also pounce on them, keeping them to the DRS range. He also has to worry about Zay behind him in P10. He's also losing time to him. MRL Finn's also there. There's a good little squabble there, but obviously Charles is struggling.
We have a yellow flag there. The third sector.
Yeah.
It went away.
Yeah.
So.
Charles is definitely holding up this pack right now. I don't know why our championship leader is struggling. This must be a track that he does not like. Leon's ready to pounce on him. Leon needs to know. He needs to get past Charles right now. He knows that because he's got all these other drivers behind him. He's got Iron Hammer, Zay, Finn, AJ, Schumacher, Ziploc. They're all bunched up there. And they're on different tyre strategies as well. It's looking good for AJ and Schumacher because they're on the different the tyres that can go to the end. And Charles is like, I don't know. These are 5-lap tyres. I'm not sure what the point is where they start to wear at being a new track. Do you know how long these soft tyres last?
Man, I believe about 9 laps. 9 laps, I believe. He can probably, but it's basically most people's strategy will be soft to hard. The people that start on hard are obviously trying to push at the end.
All right. And so I believe a pit stop is probably around 29 seconds. That's the information that I'm getting, but I haven't confirmed that.
Yes.
So the medium runner from AJ starting on the mediums, and it looks like Zay behind them, actually, and this little squad that we're on board with, gets past Finn. So that means Zay's going to move up into the points position in P10. Still early, but we're only on lap 7 and 36, so there's plenty to come. We still haven't seen pit stops apart from early pit stops. Ziploc and Schumacher are boxing. So I don't know why Ziploc is boxed. He was on the hard tyres. And Schumacher was in the medium tyres. So I'm not sure what's going on there. However, they were further back. Different strategy.
Yeah.
Not much happening at the front there.
The front, actually, Doc Lovers is really close on freeware.
So as we see 6 laps, as you said, probably the laps go about 10, 11, 12 on these softs. So who's going to see, let's see, the pit stop strategy between these guys, whether or not they're going to try an undercut or an overcut. Duck Lovers has the deer. He's like,
Duck Lovers is getting ready for, I really thought he was going to attempt a pass there in Tarzan corner.
That's the Tarzan corner. That's the one, yeah.
Tarzan corner, yes.
Looks like Leon has got past Charles. No, Charles and Leon are battling side by side too. So had to go back to them because they're wheel to wheel. Yeah, Charles is dropping back now. He's dropped also to Iron Hammer. Something is wrong. That Ferrari pace. He's dropped back now to P11. So, he's ghosting. So it looks like Charles is having connection issues again as we're going to go back to the race.
I was going to say he has no damage. His tires look good.
Yeah, I believe that was the case. Is anybody there fans of Charles or whatever? Please let us know if he's experiencing connection issues. If he's racing engineer.
While we're talking about our stream, I want to mention. I want to say thank you to Buffalo Beans for subscribing to us with Twitch Prime.
Welcome, Buffalo. I hope you're enjoying the race. Obviously, you can join the Discord. We like to be a part of the community, even if you don't race like myself. There are other things to do. As looks like Duck Lovers. Deep in the braking.
Trying on the
first
outside.
corner.
That Tarzan corner is a corner where you can actually pass on the outside because the bank just as well as you can on the inside. So
there's a big. Looks like Ez has made it. Looks like our as he's made a mistake or something. It's cost him a lot of time. He's dropping back into P10.
He's dropping, yeah.
He must have missed that. Let's have a look and see if we can see any problems with the car. He has his M plates. It's all intact. So as Sherlock Homeboy is boxing and going to the hards, let's go back on board, but with Duck Lovers. And he's still battling at the front there for P2.
I think we're going to see guys, the guys on softs. I think we're going to see them start boxing now.
Let's have a look at the last lap times exactly. So the fastest lap of the track has currently by Julian. He did a 1:12.2. The leaders are now currently all lapping in the 1:13, low 1:13. So they are dropping a little bit of pace. The best laps for most of these drivers are a 12.5, so 12.5. Now they're lapping in the 13, so they're 13.1, 13.2. So they're starting to lose 2 tenths, 3 tenths per lap now as these softs wear. So who's going to have the better strategy call? Jeff is going to be a very busy man right now in the pits trying to engineer all these different drivers and say which one's going to have the box when and how. Obviously, this doesn't really hurt Freeware or Duck Lovers, but Julian and Henna are both in the same team. That's the Racing Point drivers. Julian is in P3, just ahead of his teammate Henna's, who's about 5 seconds away from Julian. So that if they're going to have
those
to do
three are bunched up there, yeah.
A pit stop strategy. What call Racing Point will do to decide who comes in first, because you could probably get away with a double stack pit on the same.
I don't know, they're a little close. I would say they're a little close.
Yeah. What happens to the Racing Point? I see what Lance Strong's dad, who would ultimately make the decision, even though he's not the the chief principal of the team. Duck Lovers doesn't seem to be making much more of a gain right now. I wonder if the call from the Red Bulls just kind of sit back, take care of your tires, save some fuel, and see what's going to happen in the pit stop. And as we speak about it, Duck Lovers is boxing from P2. He's had enough of those soft tires. He's going to try a different strategy. Let's keep an eye on him. That moves Julian up into P2. Duck Lovers should slide up.
Easy is also closing in on Zay. And
Is he in P10 there? It looks like they're going to make the pass there. Zay's boxing.
Yes.
So he's had we're going to see a lot of pit stops now from the leaders, from everybody actually that are on the soft tires, as Charles moves up a position over Zay in the pit stop. But Charles obviously has to make his pit stop. I'm going to change the graphics here now to show the pit stops, so we get an idea of how many stops that these drivers have done with the tires. Can't believe it shows stops and tires. Anyway, my telemetry shows me that information. All right, so Duck Lovers has gone on to the hard tires from his pit stop, if I'm seeing this correctly. Yes, I believe that. Yep. So I think we must have missed that. Duck Lovers boxed and went to the hard tires.
The hard tires, yes.
So Julian's decided to box from P2. Yep. So he's gone again, and his teammate goes across the line. So that's the call from the Racing Point. And Julian goes on to the hard tires as well, as you predicted. Nobody's going to take the gamble to go to the softs. I mean, the memes. Who went off there? There was, it looked like Schumacher. Schumacher in the other Ferrari. Just
one of the Ferraris, yeah.
Got a glimpse of that at the end there. He went off in the first sector.
And he finished the race, unfortunately.
Let's cost him. Let's have a look at what Iron Hammer can do. All over the back there, of Julian. But Iron Hammer's tyres will be wearing as Charles moves up into P7. But Charles also has to make a pit stop as he's dropped back to P10, but he's got fresh boots. And there's something went slow right there. AJ's made a pass. Cram Soup is boxing. I don't know why Cram Soup is boxing there for some new boots again. Maybe there was some damage. Iron Hammer and Julian. Iron Hammer's dropping back now to Julian. Julian's got the fresh tyres. Julian's now 1.7 seconds behind third place Duck Lovers. They're both in the same tyre strategy right now. And the leaders box. That's Freeway in the box and Henna's. They're both going to be, let's have a look who's going to come out.
And Iron Hammer is boxing right now.
So
I think the 11 laps on softs
Yeah,
was
that's about it. Yeah,
stretching them. Oh
yeah, their
no,
times were dropping here.
he did not. He did not. He served a drive-through penalty.
Charles has still stayed up.
Iron Hammer served a drive-through penalty. It appears.
It's cost him then. Ironhammer's going to drop back in
Yeah.
P7.
Oh yeah, and he still has to pit.
And he still has to box, yeah.
So fast.
And he is going to come out probably around where AJ is in 13th. So not his day in the Red Bull. So Duck Lovers is looking good, resuming the race again, back in P1. Fresh tyres, as of all the other 5 drivers behind him. Charles is still to make a pit stop. Ironhammer, as you just mentioned there, serving a drive-through penalty, has to then box again.
And for some reason, Muniz, for me, it shows that he's on 22 lap all soft tires.
Yeah, that's the little glitch that you see there. I'm currently showing in my telemetry that he in P16 has fresh softs on. So
okay, good.
Minus the 22 minus 1 is what the accurate information would be. Thanks for calling that out. Yep.
Sector 2 went yellow for a quick second, but I think nothing wrong there. Iron Hammer now pits.
Yeah, I'm surprised how far they can go as Charles goes.
It appears again. Charles did not pit yet.
Charles' last lap time was a 1:14.7. The two guys at the front, Duck Lovers and Julian, are doing 1:12.9 and 7. So this is costing Charles a lot of time by staying out.
Absolutely.
Jeff might need to be under review for his contract at the way he's performing as an engineer.
You know, we always blame Jeff for it, but sometimes the drivers just don't come in.
Yeah, well, Charles is Brazilian, so perhaps he's misunderstanding the English. I believe that Jeff speaks Brazilian as well. Portuguese, should I say. Apologize.
You know, like that line in Ford versus Ferrari. Hey, when he's in the car, it's his car. So he doesn't have to listen to. Ooh, we have a spin from Finn.
Oh, from Finn.
He got off, and
currently in P10.
That's fine. He didn't really spin. He saved it, didn't touch anything, and he's back on track now. But lost his place to Zay.
In the points, still there. Lap 15. We're not even halfway through yet. So we got drivers.
Now we have. Exactly. I was gonna say we don't have any fights happening at the moment. Iron Hammer coming hard behind Sherlock.
I think the closest we might see would be between Ezzy here in P9 in the AlphaTauri. He's behind Leon in the Alfa Romeo. So Alphas once again.
And then we have another battle brewing between Iron Hammer and Sherlock Homeboy, but they're a little further apart.
So as a driver, where are the crucial points you would find for overtaking? I still can't get my grasp around where the best overtaking places are on this track at the moment.
I think from starting with the last turn down the straight with the DRS zone and into Tarzan Corner.
So that's the first corner, correct? Like Tarzan Corner.
That is Tarzan Corner is the first corner. Legend has it that it's named Tarzan Corner after the farmer that agreed to move his vegetable garden to allow for the building of the track.
Oh, well, that was nice of him, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I guess he put in the contract that he gets a corner name after him.
He gets a corner name. Well, that sounds fair to me. As it looks like Iron Hammer's going to make a move there on down the main straight. It looks so much exit speed in the middle there. There it is.
And the little tap from Sherlock there, but didn't affect anything.
Pass done. Thank you very much. He's probably saying,
so
I'll take that. Yep.
That is a good place to overtake, including Tarzan Corner, because of the bank that it has. You can overtake both on the inside and outside. And then, of course, there's a second DRS zone there in Sector 2 going to 3.
So let's go on board now with Ezzy. He's in P8 on the back of Leon. Now, as a driver, let's call it. You can commentate this one. What do you think he's going to do? Which is the best place?
Here, I think here on the straight into Tarzan corner is the best chance. He's running rich fuel, I see,
The side
and
by
he's got
side.
DRS, and he made the pass. But
Oh, it's a tap and a
the
spin.
AlphaTauri tapped him. I think Izzy saved it, and he's ahead now.
I'm still showing him as behind, actually. P8. Ezzy. He's still got Leon
Ezzy.
ahead of him. Leon's in P7.
Wait, I thought he was fighting. Oh,
Zay? Did he get past Zay?
yeah, I
No.
thought he was
No,
fighting.
Zay's 3.5
Zay.
seconds down the road. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah,
Oh.
because we got both the Alpha Tories and the Alpha Romeos here battle squabble in the squabbling here in P7 as Hannah gets the time penalty there. Hannah's running in fourth. We'll update the time penalties a little later because we're only on lap 17 at the moment. There's still a lot of action to occur. Charles in 16 laps. Am I still seeing this? Wow.
Yeah, he is.
He's
still
won
on
last lap,
16 laps,
114.7. What?
and I'm surprised
is
that he is not dropping.
on?
The
2 seconds a lap slower than the leaders right now.
I don't know if your telemetry shows anything regarding his tire wear.
He's
Because
boxed. He's boxed.
He's
Yeah,
boxing now. Yes.
he's boxed. I'm showing 16 laps. My telemetry is showing 17 laps actually as he across the line to box.
Yeah.
He's going to lose a lot of positions here right now. He will be dropping back a lot.
Oh.
I think he lost
Finn.
a lot of time staying out. I'm not quite sure what that strategy call was. What did he go to? The mediums? Yeah. So,
Yeah,
all right.
he
So
went to
he'll
the
have pace, but he has a lot of places. Look at that P12. He is
Correct.
Currently at the moment too 38
Right.
seconds away from the leader. So I'm not sure how much time you can really get out of those mediums if you want to try to make a run for the front. Zay on a different strategy as well too. I'm showing Zay on softs. So, I mean, as we've seen, there's no way that he's going to be able to go to the end on those softs. 6-lap softs. And we see that they obviously now, because they're running a lighter fuel load, he should be able to get probably about 14 or 15 laps out of them. But, well, that's not going to go to the end of the race. He'll have to box again.
Let's see what Izzy does now. He's about to get back into the last corner and on the straight, and he's right up Leon's gearbox. And they both have the same.
We've got 2 battles at the moment. So,
we're on
yeah, I was
fire.
following my battle, but I'm going to follow the battle of Ezzy because he is the man to watch. Still side by side. These guys have been battling it out for many laps
Yeah.
now. Nothing between. They're both in the same tire strategy. So it's going to come down purely to driver
And
skill.
he's-
The cars are the same.
And he's up front. He made the pass, and then the next battle coming up is from Zay Bernice in the Alfa Romeo, following Finn. He's about half a second behind.
What can Finn do? Where were the places you would save your ERS? Now, obviously new to this game as well, there is only an overtake button. It gives them the ability to basically use the ERS or not use the ERS. There's no other functions. There's no other
Correct.
levels of the ERS that you can use. It's
I think
basically on or off.
technically you can. Technically you can turn it off all the way, but it requires more finagling with your wheel. And
Oh,
on this
interesting.
track, I wouldn't play with that. I wouldn't play with that.
Yeah,
Other
it's
people
busy,
might.
isn't it? It's certainly it's busy enough just commentating, let alone driving. I can
Yeah.
imagine. Zay is,
But-
as just mentioned, this battle here between he has Finn up ahead, and
Oh,
he's got.
and-
Oh, there's a car off there. Who's that?
I believe that's Muniz. But I mean, I see Squid marked as did not finish
that's
and
car
left
8.
the session.
Who's car 8? Car 8's he's retired. Squiddo. That's
Squid,
Squiddo.
yeah.
Did not finish 7 laps on those
And I thought I
tires.
saw a little message here on my screen that Muniz has left the session, but
Oh.
hopefully he's back.
He's running plumb last at the moment, so it's not going to hurt him. We have our first virtual safety car for LOR in
You know, actually,
the Netherlands.
actually there was another one earlier,
Oh.
and I think that's how people got. There were a couple of drive-throughs.
It happened so quickly as we're back on
Yeah.
resuming racing
I
again
think-
as well too. That was super quick.
Yeah.
Now Zay's all over the back there to a Finn, and Finn gets a DRS run on Leon. That's up ahead there as well.
And it
so-
looks like that McLaren is ghosted as well.
The McLaren of Ziploc or cram suit boxes, put some fresh softs on. Can he make them last to the end? Now, Zay has a big problem right now. He's on softs. He's going to struggle to get them to go to the end. He has the pace, but he has to get past Finn. He has to get past Leon.
I really don't see those softs last till the end. And if he was on, I can't remember what he was to begin with, but if he was on softs, he will need to pick a different tire. He might have been on mediums, and he might do a medium soft.
Munz has rejoined. That's good. So yeah, we confirm that now. He had a little glitch there. We do see that sometimes it occurs with the game, as long as his drivers can resume. And then
there's also a fight brewing between Sherlock and Charles.
That's Sherlock back in P12.
11, battle for 11. For 11.
This is definitely not. It would be interesting if we can speak to Charles at the end of the race, because he's not having one of those races. He's actually having a real life Ferrari crisis right now.
Yeah,
because he's.
I wonder how much of it is issues with his connection as well, because you mentioned earlier that he was on and off.
He has had that connection issues, but at the moment it's showing that he is racing again. So when he's resuming racing, he should be able to still put in the typical Charles lap times that we do see. He's a fast driver. However, the strategy call was weird as to why he stayed out so long.
It was a very long time.
Even the computer game would have, if the computer took over, it would have boxed him. So I don't know what's going on. Correct. Well, hopefully we can hear from Charles. As Freeware sets the fastest first sector, Freeware is on a man on a mission right now, trying to catch. He's ghosted car ahead of him. It's that lapping Munz. Munz is all the way back down in plumb last, as we said, but he had a connection issue. I'm not sure if there's a connection issue again, because he's ghosted at the moment as I'm on board with Freeware. Freeware now is 3 seconds off the leader, Duck Lovers, and only within almost 2 seconds away from Julian. We keep forgetting about the leaders right now because there's not a lot of action at the front. But however, there's so much action on track. Most of the cars are spread out and all evenly within different sections. It would be good if we can see a safety car. I'm sure the fans would like to see a safety car, see everybody bunch up. But so far,
see a restart of the race.
Lap 23 at 36. Still a bit to go. Tyre wear is now going to start coming as Finn gets a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, those hards should last just fine until the end for those who pitted. You know, the ones that have like 10 or 11 laps on them.
How do they fall? When do they fall off as hard tires? When do they start creating issues for the traction that these drivers have?
You know, I think around here, I was starting to notice fall off maybe around lap 30. I had to start struggling with it a little bit.
Okay, so they'll be fine then. They have plenty of.
Julian just sets the fast. Freeware just sets the fastest lap.
Yeah, it looks like here on the timing screens that Freeware was setting purple sectors, Julian setting purple sectors. There's nothing between these guys. Their last lap, Julian was a 112.144, and then obviously Freeware was a little quicker with the DRS there as well, 112 flat almost.
And Julian is closing in on Duck Lovers quite a bit.
Oh,
the Freeware dropped
again. Third, or I think it's third now, virtual safety car. So they have to slow down, but we've seen these virtual safety cars, they end really quickly. I'm not sure why it was caused that.
It's the sand. The sand's just it's moving sand. Julian picks up a drive-through penalty. Ooh. And what's interesting is Freeware has 3-second penalty as well that he's got to look out for. But maybe now with Julian having to go in the pits for his drive-through, that might change things.
Oh, he has to serve a drive-through penalty. Is that correct?
Julian does. Julian has to serve a drive-through, but Freeware has 3-second penalty. So does Henners. Henners has a 3-second penalty as well.
Oh, yeah, retirement.
Easy just retired. Oh,
where is he on
missed
track?
That.
He's on the second sector. I think he's around.
Yeah,
it looks like
just stopped.
9 at 9 or 10. Something's happened there. So maybe he can give you some feedback on that as Julian boxes in the.
Yeah, he probably went in for his drive-through.
Oh, yes, exactly. You mentioned that. So, yeah, that's cost him. He's going to drop back but still slot back into P3, but have pressure all over from Hennes now, his teammate. That's in
Yeah.
P4. No.
Well, Hanners also has 3-second penalty, as well
virtual
as
safety car. Another one. What's happened
yeah.
here now? I don't see anybody stopped on track. Actually, I am car 6. That is out of the race. That's Munns. So I'm not sure what's going on here.
Wow.
Certainly a good day for Racing Point in terms of points.
And Sherlock Homeboy gets another drive-through penalty. It's you know, in F1 2020, they got rid of a bug that was prevalent in 2019, where as soon as it was announced that VSC was ending, you could start speeding up, and it wouldn't affect you if you went into the red, into a red delta. And in 2020, they actually got rid of that, and if you are caught in the red as the VSC ends, you get that drive-through penalty. So and I think some people are not aware of it, even though it's been.
I believe too one of the
we've seen it in other races, so
I believe
that's
one of
how
the
I found
recent
out.
patches as Sherlock Homeboy boxes to serve his penalty and gets a 5-second speeding in the pit lane. So, that's an insult to injury right there. Another virtual safety car. Yeah, I believe that they recently did make in a patch some corrections to the speeding under the pit lane, but there's still, as we can see, some issues there. It's kind of sad to see because we want to see overall errors that drivers would make, say corner cutting or whatever, not
and there's another one, Zay Bernice getting a drive-through penalty as well, and it happened just as that. Just as the VSC ended, so it must be for that same reason.
Yeah,
it's
sad to say. It's not exciting racing because they're not at full speed, they're not racing wheel to wheel, and they're getting penalties for stuff that should probably be fixed in the game.
Correct.
Unfortunately, there's no way that we can turn it off with those rules, which would be good. However, there's lots of logistics problems with that sort of stuff. But
we do have now a few battles brewing. Charles and P9 is Charles and Ironhammer are getting close to Finn, and at the top, Freeware is within the DRS zone.
Charles is on the fresh mediums, and we expect to see the pace from him. So it's only a matter of time, I think, before Ironhammer will come under a lot of pressure as Charles locks up under that banking corner that we mentioned about before, where you can go a little wide there. Sherlock Homeboy's decided enough is enough. He is retiring from this race, unfortunately. Julian in P4 is putting pressure there in the back of his teammate as Duck Lovers sets the fastest lap, because Duck Lovers knows he's under pressure there for Freeware.
Charles just picked up a 3-second penalty.
I'm going to go on board with the leaders right now. Freeware is in P2. These guys have been battling it out the whole time at the front here.
Yeah, and Julian is closing in on Henners.
Let's see if he can make it. Is it going to be team orders between
Unless I missed a pass from Henners on Julian.
I don't believe there was a pass. No, I believe Julian's still stuck behind his teammate, Henners. They both have similar tyres. They're both on the hards. Only one lap difference in the tyre strategy, obviously, because they're both in the same team. They had to pit at different times. But looking good for the Racing Point. A lot of crucial points there if they can remain in these positions in P3, P4. Hennes is dropping back too. He's like 11 seconds away from Freeway right now in P2. He's all on the back of Duck Lovers. Yellow first sector there, Sonny Rider going wide. Then there's a bit of a gap.
that will definitely help out Freeware, because he has a 3-second penalty, and there's plenty of time between him and
I believe
P3.
Hennes also has a 3-second time penalty. So
yes.
I think team as Freeware sets the fastest lap, trying to get ahead, and he needs to get ahead of Dark Lovers because if he wants to win the race, he needs to get ahead, and he needs to get ahead by 3 seconds. So he's got a bit of work.
Right.
Lap 29 36. Julian, I don't understand what's going on at the Racing Point right now. There should be some team orders. They are allowed. There's no point in Hennes holding up Julian right now because Hennes has that 3-second time penalty. He's going to be hurting his teammate. Julian can get ahead and try to work on catching up to Freeware. But Hennes is just basically slowing his teammate down. So Racing Point management are in a lot of difficulty right now, what they can do between the drivers, whether or not their drivers are acknowledging their orders. As it looks like LOR, Einhammer is going to make a right on the back. Sorry, I pressed the wrong key there.
Yeah.
Finn, that is for 7th and 8th position. This is the Red Bull here. Not a very good day for the... Actually, it is a good day for Red Bull, sorry. My apologies. Duck Lovers is a pretty one. Ironhammer, what can he do? He has hard tyres. And Finn also has hard tyres as well. His tyres are a little fresher, but as you said, that they can go all the way to the end with plenty of time to spare. I like the blue helmet there on Ironhammer.
Well, Ironhammer is about to get into a DRS zone here. We'll see what he can do before the chicane.
He's got to get past Finn. Does Ironhammer have any penalties? No, he doesn't. But, however, Finn, ahead of him, does have time penalties. So...
Yeah, he's got 3 seconds.
But Ironhammer's probably not thinking about Finn right now. Finn is probably thinking about whether or not he can catch Leon with just 6 laps to go. Almost 6 laps to go.
Let's see if Ironhammer can close it here. Seems pretty far.
Yeah, it's going to be a dive bomb, isn't it, going to that first corner. As you said, this is one of the overtaken places. But it's also a psychological game that these drivers play. They kind of like dummy it a little bit, trying to force the other drivers into an error is one of the crucial parts of being a good driver.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because Finn will like to go defensive in certain parts. He'll place his car off the racing line a little bit. And as soon as you do that, you compromise your exit as Freeware. So that's the fastest lap. Let's go on board Freeware, actually, because he, once again, as we said, he's the fastest man on track. He's lighting up the timing boards with the fastest second sector and set the fastest lap. But now he needs to get past Duck Lovers. He has 5 laps to go. 6 laps, shall we say?
Yeah, to gain 3.5 seconds.
3.5 seconds.
4 seconds on.
That's going to be a long haul, and I don't think Duck Lovers, being the wise driver he is going to make that easy for him. That's for sure. Julian once again is struggling behind his teammate as Ironhammer picks up a penalty. So these are Racing Point's strategy is really compromised between the two drivers. It's probably too late now anyway. Even if they were to release Julian past Hennes, Julian is just going to fall far too much time. He's going to be at least 12 seconds behind Freeware. But this is Freeware's absolute last chance in the Mercedes, the new black livery Mercedes, to try to do something about the Red Bull driver. And this is probably something we will see in the race in Silverstone tomorrow.
Yeah, and again he sets a faster lap. It's he's really close now.
Yeah, as Charles boxes and exits the pit. So I see now. Charles is looking for the fastest lap. His race is practically compromised. He's back in P10. He has to remain in P10. If he can set the fastest lap, he'll at least get a point.
Julian made it past Henners.
So there it is, yeah.
Oh, and Henners took it right back. So
I'm going to keep on board with this battle, but however, because
at the front, yes.
Yeah, Julian has no time penalty, so he will net finish in front of his teammate, whereas Freeware needs to, at the front here, needs to get past. Obviously, Charles is quicker, being a lapped car, but he will ghost. That will also throw a little bit. Do you think it throws a little bit of distraction when you're a driver, when you have a ghosted car ahead of you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No matter what. Oh, as Ironhammer passes Finn in Tarzan corner.
He did the Tarzan move then.
Yeah.
And we have a quick brief moment.
Oh, and Freeware passed Duck Lovers.
What? Whoa, I missed that. He got the move done.
Duck Lovers coming right back.
They're still side by side. Duck Lovers still wants to be defensive. He's still going to regain that
up
position.
Ahead. He gained it back. Absolutely. Same Tarzan corner.
Zay has retired from the session. That's unfortunate. Charles makes a pass past Zay, but obviously Zay has left the session. Charles is on the fresh tyre anyway, so I expect any minute soon Charles will probably get the fastest lap. However, He's back in P9. The real battle is at the front here with Duck Lovers, Freeware. Hennes and Julian still squabbling between each other, compromising the team strategy, as Julian will earn the 3rd place on the podium at the moment, pending he keeps it on
And
the
it
track.
sounds like Chen Zhu just commented on our stream saying that Duck Lovers spun, and that's how Freeware was able to catch him.
Oh.
And we didn't see it.
Thank you very much, Sanjay. Yeah. It's unfortunate that we did, because there's so many battles that are going. But this is great. This is what we expect. The first race
Beautiful,
in this
yeah.
circuit, as Charles, as I expected, sets the fastest lap. So he's going to get a point on top of what he has where he finishes. He's 21 seconds behind Finn. I doubt he will be able to improve on that. So Charles will finish.
He does have a 3-second penalty, but I don't think that's going to affect him
I don't
much.
think it will affect him much. Yeah. Zay's retired.
Zay retired,
him.
and AJ is 24, 25 seconds behind.
Yeah. So, and how will this affect the championship right now too? As Duck Lovers and Freeware are both battling, how will this affect?
Duck Lovers is on 4th at the moment, and Freeware on 2nd.
Well, this might look good for Freeware, because this is, well, actually, sorry, for Duck Lovers, a little bit more points, because Freeware still, obviously, with that penalty, has 3 seconds. And
Correct.
Hennes has 3 seconds, but Hennes is way too far behind them. This is a battle between 1 and 2. Hennes is 12 seconds off the pace. He will lose out to Julian anyway, so Hennes will end up finishing in net P4 position. Lap 34 of 36. I wanted to ask you quickly, because much appreciated too, and your first broadcasting as a commentator, sorry. And you are doing a fantastic job too.
Thank you.
Absolutely great. You know your knowledge. You're a race driver as well. And we both don't know this track, so we're kind of learning it as we go along.
It's a beautiful track, but it has so many bank turns and ups and downs, and I believe it has like almost 8 meters of altitude elevation difference.
It looks a lot more, doesn't it, on the screen, but it's not a lot really at the end of the day compared to the other circuits.
Correct.
As you know, in the Netherlands, it's very flat.
Yeah.
So most of it's actually on the sea level. So that's quite interesting. But I wanted to ask you, what's with the nickname? What the Blue Cow?
Oh, when I first, when I was a long time ago, when I was a child, and I was making my first Yahoo mail address.
Wow, that is a long time ago. Now, most of the people, I think most of the viewers probably wouldn't even know what Yahoo is. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, well, better than if I would have said AOL, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, don't go there. Yeah.
It was actually Yahoo used to suggest passwords for you, and Blue Cow was a password it suggested, and I thought that's a waste.
Yeah.
So I used it. I've used it since.
And you certainly couldn't. So everybody out there, Blue Cow's password would also be Blue Cow.
Yeah, it makes it easy for me. Absolutely.
But these days, it would be impossible to have a password like that. They wouldn't allow you. You'd have to have combinations of numbers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that goes to show you how simple the security was back in the day.
Yeah.
As Freeware is going to have to just settle in behind Duck Lovers. He's not got enough time. We're on the last lap. We'll actually follow Duck Lovers. I don't think there's much else that's happening. Julian might make it.
Yeah, same. No, but, Julian's slowly dropping as well.
Yeah. He will still finish P3 anyway. If Jeff has told him he is going to be on the final step, he will get to taste the champagne.
Correct.
But
Absolutely.
Duck Lovers commanding this race. After the pit stop strategy, he did 10 laps on those softs at the start, and so he boxed a little earlier than what Freeware did. Freeware boxed a couple laps later on the softs. Crosses the line, takes the win. The Duck is the master of Netherlands, shall we say, Holland. So Holland's a part of Netherlands, so that's Netherlands. The Duck is the Duck master. Also in the wet as well. We were actually commenting, I believe, during the qualifying that the Duck, as Ducks do, perform better in the wet weather conditions.
I guess so.
The Red Bull. Takes that. He's probably standing up right now, shaking his fist in the air, very happy, very excited. Takes the win. Freeware. All the pressure on him the whole time. But with at the end of the day, that penalty cost Freeware. But still, I think he was doing the right thing as a driver, even if he got the penalty. He has end plate damage too. Just realised that as well from free wear. That might have compromised a lot of his pace, and he was very fast. He will finish in P2. Julian will finish in P3 with, as we said, because of the penalties that occurred with Hennes, even though Hennes was ahead of him on track.
Yep.
And that strategy, I think
and we got a... How do we get a yellow flag and on the final straight?
yeah, my telemetry is completely frozen right now because that is the race over. So yeah, there'll be some discussion, I no doubt, down in the Racing Point.
As Iron Hammer gets
and
the
Iron Hammer
driver
gets
of the day.
the driver of the day. Good job there, Iron Hammer. So Red Bull, it's a Red Bull victory here.
Absolutely.
For sure. You should celebrate that. That's right. Shaking hands, although we can't do that anymore with the social distancing. Picks up the trophy. Already got to put the trophy down. He's shaking the champagne now. Adrian Newey in the back there. That gets probably paid more money than both these drivers, all these drivers combined every year, being the chief technical designer. And that's why he's also bald, because he's been doing that stuff for at least 30 or 40 years. But there you have it. So it's been fantastic, hasn't it? Like, this is great. Like, we kind of just jumped into this pool before we can swim of this. Charles gets the fastest lap as we expected. I'd like to hear from Charles as well, like what happened with his race. The strategy, to me, was a bit iffy. He also finishes behind his fellow countryman there, Leon from Brazil, if that's correct. But there you go. There is your results here. We'll go through it. Duck Lovers, Freeware, Julian, Hennes, Got a Hellfire, Iron Hammer, Finn, Leon, Charles, Zay, the Aussie there, last in the points position, a lap down. AJ, Ziploc, Cram Soup, Sherlock Homeboy, Ezzy Time, Munns, Squid Eye, Schumacher round out all of that. There obviously were some early disqualifications and crashes and so forth, but we'll be back soon. Hope you enjoyed that for the interviews. All right, so we've got all the drivers. They've already parked their cars in Parc Fermé. They've had their champagne, the trophies, etc. So we're going to go over to Blue Cow, and he's going to interview the race drivers here now.
I'd love to hear from Dark Lovers first. Congratulations. And you had quite a. Did you want to unmute him?
Oh,
Because
do I have to do that? My apologies. I didn't realize I actually have to unmute the drivers.
You don't.
No. Duck Lovers, you can unmute yourself. You guys can unmute yourself.
Oh.
My apologies.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
So Duck Lovers.
Well, guys, great race. Great race up top there. It was a lot of fun to watch. Sure, you guys were slightly nervous. Duck Lovers, how do you feel?
I feel great. This is my first win. I've been fighting for this since day one of joining this league.
Since Canada, huh?
Yeah. it's a great feeling. It was close at the end, but he got a penalty, so that helped me.
Yeah,
He stayed
absolutely.
calm, and then he got past me actually after I almost spun, but I had a really risky but really good overtake around the outside in the turn one.
Yep.
That pretty much, I guess, won it for me. So yeah, happy all around.
Good. Good. Are you excited for the next track in the United States?
The United States isn't my greatest track. I don't really like it. The S's are horrible for penalties, but we'll see what I can
Yeah.
do. Zandvoort I thought was gonna be bad at, but no, it turned out really well.
At least it's a track you probably know from previous versions of the game, as opposed to Zandvoort, which was new to everybody.
Yeah, and Duck Lovers just wanted to quickly question on that. You obviously drove a superior race there too with the strategy. You lapped a little earlier on the softs, and the other guys went out a little later. So that obviously you must have felt that those tires weren't. You're losing a little bit of time with those tires. So by boxing earlier, you essentially can come out with fresh tires and keep the pace up. But also the penalty situation. So I always find it's very. It takes a lot of concentration to do 50% of a race without picking up a penalty. Were you also aware too that freeware behind you had penalties? Was that
Yes, I was aware. The whole point of me pitting early, my softs actually felt perfectly good. I was pressuring freeware like crazy. The issue is Zandvoort you cannot pass. If you have like 20% of ERS on the straight, you cannot pass. So the whole point of me pitting early was so I could undercut, and I ended up undercutting him by a ton. I don't know what happened to him, but he was like 5 or 6 seconds behind, and Julian got in the P2. So I'm not quite sure what happened
Oh,
there.
we'll hear
I
from
believe.
freeware in a second, no doubt about that. So, but yeah, absolutely good race. Congratulations, your first win. You tasted the champagne now. I'm sure you want more, and looking forward to seeing you race again. So, Blue Cow, who would you like to?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Let's move on to freeware. I actually, since Dark Lovers brought it up, I'm trying to remember if freeware. Did you have a drive-through penalty? Is that what slowed you down a bit, or?
No, apparently, throughout the whole race, there were all the back markers racing us when we were battling for the lead, which was quite annoying because they were ghosting, and at least I wasn't able to see my braking points and turning
Yeah,
in
they're
points or
hard.
something. And at I think it was second virtual safety car, after I lapped Ziploc, I think it was, I just slowed down because of the delta being like 1 second in the red. I slowed down and he completely rear-ended me, and I got a 5-second penalty, which I served then in my pit stop a lap after. That's why I ended up like 5.7 seconds or so behind Doug Levers. But then I had a quite good recovery drive, gaining like a second always on the virtual safety cars. But in the end, I got the penalty, and yeah, Julian got a drive-through, I think. That's why he wasn't in the fight. But it was
Yeah.
pretty good racing in the last laps, at least. Shouldn't have ended like this.
It was a good fight all along up top. We enjoyed it. We hope our viewers enjoyed it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in the Twitch feed that would like to hear from any of the drivers there? We also have some of the other drivers in the chat. Zay, we'll quickly speak to Zay there. What happened to your race? You had a retirement towards the end there.
Unfortunately, my game crashed in the last few laps. It was very unfortunate. I had a guy behind me during the last few laps, Charles. He pitted for softs whilst I was on pretty old mediums, and then my game just crashed. And then by the time I came back, he was pretty far ahead, and I couldn't do anything about it.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's the glitches that occur. But still, you had good pace there, so I'm sure you'll bounce back there. But yeah, it's
Well,
one
that's
of
my
those
first
things.
ever points finish too.
Good job.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Let's say,
thank you.
is Julian here?
Yeah, I wanted to
In
check with the Racing Point drivers because there was a major strategy that was I couldn't quite get there between the Racing Point drivers, but I don't believe we have any of them here right now. So
We do have easy 9 time.
Ezzy, of course.
and he He had an earlier than planned retirement.
Let's hear from Ezzy.
So-
Yeah, we can say that was probably one of the most embarrassing retirements I've had.
We
I-
unfortunately missed it. So yeah, tell us about it.
It was just, I guess, my fault. I don't know if I checked my pedals to see if they spiked, but I was just coming around that turn, middle of sector 2. Don't remember it exactly what number it is, but just went to put on the power on, and I guess the rears with the hard tires had kind of started to get a little slick, about halfway through their life. And so they just stepped out, and I was along for a ride. And with full damage, you don't have to hit the wall very hard to take you out. So I was pretty frustrated with myself.
Got it.
Yeah, well, I think we commentated cursed you, so that was.
It's good I have someone else to blame rather than myself, because I had a lot of questions.
But yeah, it's still fun. You had the race pace there, and you obviously will be back battling in the championship. You also have Iron. Unfortunately, my telemetry doesn't show the names for the race positions at the moment, so I have the car numbers. Iron Hammer, I believe you're here. Car 19.
Six.
Yeah, well,
Sixth place.
Sixth place. Okay, let me pull that up. Yeah, okay, great. So yeah, you had 3 seconds time penalties. You had the early stop. I wanted to confirm with you. You stopped. You boxed for obviously for the softs to get rid of the softs, and then you boxed again for 1 lap on the softs, if my telemetry is correct. And then you went to the hards. What happened?
No, what happened was I got a drive-through penalty under VSC.
Okay.
That cost me pretty much the entire thing. I was up to 6th, I believe. I made it up through the field, was doing great, and then I got hit with one of those VSCs. I don't know why there were so many VSCs. Like,
I believe we had
was
3 or
safety
4.
car off?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they lasted. Some of them lasted only 5-6 seconds, and they went away.
Yeah, so I got caught out there, had a drive-through penalty, but then I went back. I think I started 13th again and made like 4 overtakes or so, and then there were a couple crashes ahead of me when I believe I'm not sure who crashed ahead of me, but someone crashed ahead who was in 7th, and or 6th. I picked up the pieces.
Race compromise. We have seen it. We saw a few drivers actually that did serve a penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. I believe that's still like a bit of a Codemasters glitch that they tried to patch recently, but there's still those issues with it. It's sad because we don't see it. It's not racing, and 9 times out of 10, I believe it's not a driver's fault. It's a silly, Codemasters, shall we say, things. But
Yeah,
you'll bounce back, I'm sure.
I had some good battles with Finn, especially. He kept me behind for so long, and Leon as well. It took me like 5 laps to pass both of them, just because there's such tight corners, and they kept covering it off, and I didn't want to get into an accident. But it was great. It was great racing. I kept it as clean as possible with that kind of track. So overall, I think my race pace was amazing, and I'm really happy. Anyway, despite the game.
Yeah, fastest lap, 1:12.5. So definitely had the pace there, keeping up the leaders. And we'll see you again. I'm not sure of the Drivers' Championship standings at the moment. I don't have that up, so.
I think I'm like 14th or something. I didn't do well in the beginning of the season.
Well, still have time to get some more crucial points. We also have Cram Soup. If you can briefly give us a little brief of your race there. And your final position there, sorry, Cram Soup, so I can just confirm the telemetry data.
Yeah, it was 13th
13th, okay.
in the end, fastest essentially. Yeah, I just had a really bad quality session. Because the wet to dry, that was really interesting. I actually enjoyed that, how it was quite dynamic. But yeah, in the race, I just go into turn 1. It's so hectic. I expected to be more DNFs, actually, more crashes at the start of the race. But anyway, and yeah, I actually tapped. So under virtual safety car, I was being lapped by Finn, and he unghosted for some reason, and I had the slightest touch on the back of his car, and I got a 5-second penalty for it. Not that mattered since I was in dead last, but yeah.
Yeah, another one of those 5-second VSC glitches, shall we say, as you just explained again. That occurs with the other drivers. Anyway, you'll be back. More points. I think, and we've also been joined by, thank you very much,
Charles.
Cream Soup. And Charles, Charles goes, look, interesting to know about
Charles
the championship
Dennis.
leader.
Yeah, we're very
Nice.
curious about your race strategy, man. We were counting the laps on those first softs like crazy.
Yes, my substance finish, I don't know, maybe with 18.5%, something like that. And I make that because my race was killing by not my purpose. My race was finished when the guy spun me, and I need to something different to get some points. And then I think so. Let's go. I go to lap, I don't know, maybe 16 or 17, and I put Etians to be faster. That happened so long, but yeah, I lap 13 or I don't know. I spun and broke my wing. And what I think is just let's go put soft and make fast lap to get 1 point
Yeah.
more. And that race
And-
was literally crucial to me in championship. Now I lost my pool 1. I don't know what position I'm now. I think P3 or P4. Yeah.
You, Charles. So you obviously had the damage. That was the reason. But you stayed out on the softs for so long. Why did you do 17 laps essentially on those softs?
What? Sorry, I don't understand.
Oh, you did. My telemetry showed that you did 17 laps on those
Yes.
softs at the start.
Yeah, I think my tire. Was. Sorry, I don't know how to say, but my tire is literally 1 lap more and he will explode. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
but
they-
you were losing at some point.
Oh,
I was looking at the telemetry, and you were losing like 2 seconds a lap to the guys. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I lost 2 seconds because I removed the feet of the throttle just to don't explode. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know the word about that. I
Oh,
literally
okay.
get out the feet of the throttle.
And you showed
Yes.
some ghosting as well. Did you have connection issues too on top of that, or not?
In my power, I didn't have no problem. Just
Okay.
with I lapped the guy. Just because I don't know. I think it's Ziploc, but it's why I lapped him. So yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, it's unfortunate the championship is now at stake, but that makes it great for the entertainment now because you are still the man that everybody wants to try to beat, but now you are proven that you are not a invincible. So to
Yes.
say, like you have vulnerables, and you had a bad race, and that occurs. So the championship is still available for these other drivers. We'll quickly go over to the last couple of guys, really briefly, to AJ and Finn. If you could just quickly say, first of all, AJ, if you can quickly summarize your race, and then we'll do Finn after that.
Yeah, qualifying was terrible. Went up for my hot lap and just lost it on a dry setup. Race pace was semi there, but I got stuck behind Pram Soup a little bit, made my engine overheat, and then that was just it for the race at that point.
All right, and your final position, AJ, was
11th.
11th. Okay,
Or
so just out of the
P18,
points.
11th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right
just
outside
out
the
of points.
points, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, once again, I'm sure you'll bounce back. Thank you very much for the racing.
Thank you, man.
Finally, we'll hear from Finn.
Well, my qualifying didn't go to plan. I ended up crashing within my outlock. So that put me down into P16, I believe. I eventually made my way up to P7, where I had Charles and Iron Hammer behind me. Iron Hammer was really on the pace. I managed to keep him behind for around 7 laps. Before Charles spun behind him, that's when he went on to a different tyre compound. So then I only had one more driver in front of me when I was in P8, which was Leon, and he had quite severe wing damage in the last remaining laps. So I just made it so I had to overtake him. We both had 3-second time penalties, so I managed to secure P7.
Crucial points. There you have it. So you've heard from all the drivers that we've had in the interviews. It has been exciting. It was a lot to cover. It was a learning experience, new circuit. I have a new computer, had a new commentator, and I was first time I've led commentating as well for this. It's been great. Blue Cow, thank you very much for your awesome commentating, and I hope you're going to
Thank you for having me.
commentating again and your
do it
knowledge
again.
as well as a racer. So I'm looking forward to working with you again. I hope everybody enjoyed the first time that we've seen these race drivers in this league racing around this track. So the next track I'm not aware of. Sorry, I don't have the information up.
United States.
United States, that's right. Yeah, of course, you guys mentioned that before. So obviously, due to the coronavirus, that's not going to occur this year. But however, we can do it virtually because coronavirus cannot attack us virtually. So, yep.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Let's not encourage it.
Yeah.
So
challenge accepted.
It's been fun, and I've enjoyed this learning experience for everybody. And I look forward to seeing everybody back in the next race. So stay safe. Take care. If you want to be involved, obviously, in the LOR Racing League, come and join the Discord. Myself, I'm a very bad race driver, but I like to help out with commentating and race engineering, things like that. So you don't have to just be a race driver if you want to be involved in the Discord. Fans, family members, whatever, get in there, support your drivers, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next week.